Hello, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to a third video about the 2024 presidential election in America. Today's video, however, will be a little bit different from my previous videos. Instead of concentrating on talking about presidential history and giving you factual information, I will mostly talk about my personal observations and share a few of my thoughts with you. Obviously, some of the content in this video will be subjective and personal. Please let me know if you agree with me. If you are new to this channel, my name is Frank Zhu, and I'm a college professor teaching sociology, history, and philosophy. I'm also an award-winning landscape photographer. This video will be a very casual and informal talk, although I do have a few points to make. For the sake of clarity, I may divide this video into several sections and put a question as the subtitle for each section so that the whole video will appear similar to my previous videos in terms of format, which I think makes it easy to follow my thoughts, which I hope will not be so disorganized. First of all, in spite of the fact that I talk about presidential elections whenever I have an opportunity, I have never voted in any election, federal or local. It may sound strange and self-contradictory, but for me personally, who gets into the White House is not that important. It is not because I'm uninterested in politics. In fact, if you have followed me on this channel for some time, you will know that I take very much delight in talking about political issues and current affairs. It is not because I'm not a good citizen or I don't have any sense of civic responsibility either. In fact, I think I'm a good citizen who cares very much about the future of this country. The reason why I don't vote is that I consider myself as a political observer, an analyst, and a commentator. As an observer and a commentator, I find it difficult to side with any political party. If I should vote for a certain party, it would be hard for me to claim that my observations or analysis or comments are unbiased. As a professor, I keep telling students not to be blinded by their bias and always try to be value-free in their judgments. Of course, I'm not saying that I'm completely unbiased. I certainly have my own views on many things. But I always try to look at each party candidate from different angles so that I can better understand and analyze his or her strengths and weakness, which is the basis for my predictions as to who will win in an election. In my past videos, I predicted that the 2024 presidential election would be a neck-and-neck fight. I'm still holding that view to a large extent, although it seems to me that things have changed recently a little bit in favor of Donald Trump, especially in a couple of battleground states, or swing states, if you will, such as Pennsylvania. But it is still very, very close. In fact, close and neck elections are quite common recently between the two parties. And it is, of course, the interesting part of the recent American presidential elections. You never know for sure. Anything can happen. Nothing is impossible. When I said nothing is impossible, I actually said it in a bitter way, because an inexperienced, incapable person can be elected to a high office. I'm sorry, I'm digressing. Anyway, if you insist that I make another prediction, I will say that Donald Trump will win by a very, very tiny margin. I say that it is possible that Donald Trump may win by a small margin. That is based on my instincts, which come from following news and reading newspapers of all political spectrums. And of course, I also pay attention to polls. But there are problems with polls. First of all, poll results very much depend on who do the polling. Most polling organizations in America are partisan. For example, polls done by Democrats almost always show favorable results for Harris. And it is the same with the Republicans and Trump, of course. Another problem with polls is its unreliability. When it comes to certain sensitive issues such as immigration, people often do not tell what they really have in their minds. Sometimes the sense of political correctness prevents people from speaking their minds in public or when answering survey questions. That's why poll results are often misleading. Based on my observations and analysis of news and events, Trump will win more votes on two issues: immigration and economy. It was the issue of immigration which sent Trump to the White House in 2020, and it looks likely to be the case again in 2024. Trump may even win more Latino and other ethnic votes this time. However, as I said, it will still be a neck-and-neck fight because Harris will win more female votes on the issue of abortion. Many women, especially young women, are strongly opposed to the Supreme Court overturning on Roe versus Wade case. But again, you never know until you know. I'm almost certain that the official results will not be made public until several days, a week, or even more time after the election. This is because the competition is so close that votes will be recounted in many places, which of course takes time. It is also because either side will very likely challenge the results on the ground of voter fraud. Indeed, there have been reports that both the Harris campaign and Trump campaign are ready to make legal challenges. The American political gap is so big, the American political opinions are so polarized, and the American voters are so divided that each side believes they simply cannot lose. If the Republicans don't see the numbers they expect to see, they will certainly accuse the other party of ballot rigging, and vice versa. If it becomes a legal battle, such as the one in 2000, it may take weeks or even months to know the official results. Now, if you ask me if this will develop into violence the same way as the January the 6th, 2001, my answer is negative. Both parties and their followers are aware of the consequences. I don't think anyone will go as far as the January the 6th, 2001. The 2024 presidential election is going to be a very important election, and there are several reasons. First, the Americans are deeply divided politically and ideologically. Each side is eager to see their candidate winning the election. To people of both sides, this election will determine the future of what they are most concerned with, such as immigration and abortion. Secondly, again, because of the huge political differences, this election will influence the future of this country, at least for the next 4 years. Whether America will go more liberal or more conservative is on the election ballot this year. Finally, it is also very important in the eyes of foreign leaders, especially the leaders of the American allies. I'm sure many of the American allies are watching closely, some may be nervously. I'm also sure some of them are anticipating big changes in America. As I pointed out in my previous videos, a new president means radically different foreign policies. Of course, there are always changes when a new political party comes to power. However, the American political system and the political traditions are such that the changes will never be revolutionary. First, as I pointed out in my previous videos, the American voters are aware of the principle of checks and balance. If a Democrat is elected to the White House, Congress is usually controlled by Republicans and vice versa. Neither has absolute power. Secondly, it is due to the principle of federalism as well. The federal government only has limited power over state or local governments. Any change by the federal government will have relatively little impact on individuals who are under control of 3 levels of government: federal, state, and local. Finally, relatively speaking, the federal government has little control over the capitalist economy, which is probably a major reason why many Americans don't care who goes to the White House, because ordinary citizens care more about economy than about politics. Fortunately for the ordinary citizens, a president, no matter how inexperienced or how incapable he or she is, does not have so much power over economy. To a large extent, an ordinary citizen's life won't be changed so much, regardless of who sits in the White House. Well, I think I have talked too much, so I will shut up now. But please let me know if you are interested in me talking about politics and current affairs in my future videos. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.